Okay, stop scrolling, because if you thought this year's award season was predictable, well, think again. This year's BAFTAs dropped some insane twists, big wins you might not expect, and a few moments people are still talking about hours later. Let's break down what happened, why it matters, and what it might mean for the Oscars coming up next. Let's start with the big picture. At the 2026 British Film Awards, the BAFTAs, one film didn't just win, it dominated. The movie One Battle After Another walked into the Royal Festival Hall in London and basically left with a suitcase full of trophies, including Best Film, Best Director, and multiple major craft awards. It was the evening's headline grabber, 6 wins in total. Now here's the twist a lot of people didn't see coming. When everyone expected the usual Hollywood A-list stars to sweep the acting categories, boom, Robert Aramayo from the movie I Swear snagged Best Actor and also the public-voted Rising Star Award. That's a huge moment, a relative newcomer beating out household names. And on the female performance side, Jessie Buckley picked up Best Actress for her powerful turn in Hamnet. Across the ceremony, films like Sinners and Frankenstein also walked away with accolades, and Hamnet was crowned Outstanding British Film. Here's the interesting part. A Manipuri film called Boong won Best Children's and Family Film, beating heavy hitters like Zootopia 2 and Lilo and Stitch. That's not something you see often at major global film awards. If you're new here, the BAFTAs are basically the UK equivalent of the Oscars, an award show where British and international movies from the previous year are honored. This year was the 79th edition, hosted by Alan Cumming, and it's widely watched because its timing often predicts Oscar buzz. In recent years, BAFTA has also made headlines for spotlighting films that go beyond commercial blockbusters, giving chances to unique voices, indie films, and international creators. And that trend really showed this year. So what actually matters about this? One Battle After Another didn't just win, it led the conversation. It's the kind of film that critics loved, and now awards bodies are echoing that enthusiasm, which could be a huge Oscar indicator. But here's the nuance. BAFTA voters and Oscar voters don't always agree. We've seen that before. So while this is huge, it doesn't guarantee Oscar wins. Most people don't notice this, but when relatively newer actors like Aramayo rise above the usual stars, that indicates a shift in industry momentum. The public also picked him for the Rising Star Award, and that's a sign audiences are paying attention too. And that win for Boong? What that really means is that regional cinema and non-mainstream language films can break through even at major international awards. That's not just another win. That could reshape what kinds of films Hollywood and studios invest in next. Looking ahead, 2 things to watch. Oscar season. Many BAFTA winners are now frontrunners for Oscars, especially One Battle After Another and Hamnet. But BAFTA and Oscar histories also have shown disagreements. So the next month is going to be very interesting. Industry impact. With pushes for diversity and global recognition, we might start seeing more films like Boong be considered in major categories, not just in children's or animation genres. So when the Academy Awards roll around, don't just look at the winners, look at who they beat and how they got there. That's where the real story is.